Hey everyone, Evan Jones with you here on the RPAC Rundown Podcast. This week on the pod, we will go through the football scoreboard brought to you by MNB Realty and recap our featured matchups from last week. Also, we have Emma Strand of the Arapahoe volleyball team set to join us this week too. Be sure to check out rpacrundown.com and social media for all kinds of great content. Of course, the RPAC Rundown podcast is brought to you by a bunch of great sponsors like Arapahoe Rehab and Fitness, Cambridge Supermarket, Webb's Oilfield Service, Cambridge Rehab and Fitness, Onyx Native, and C+. Also wanted to let you know we have an awesome series of videos coming out that Cambridge and Arapahoe Rehab and Fitness are sponsoring. It will be one per month is the plan for right now. We're going to be telling some unique stories across the conference. It's going to be really fun. So be on the lookout for all of that. Excited to be partnering with our friends at Cambridge and Arapahoe Rehab and Fitness. We'll take a break. Be right back. Let's go through the RPAC Rundown Weekly Football Scoreboard, once again brought to you by MNB Realty. So let's take a look at the scores from Week 4. North Platte St. Pat's beat Alma 44-8. Arapahoe took down Southern Valley 50-26. Cambridge beat Bertrand 56-6. Dundee County Stratton took down Highline 32-14. Hitchcock County beat Overton 28-7. Maxwell beat Hyannis 70-36. Loomis took down Maywood Hayes Center 52-0. Medicine Valley took down Ansley Litchfield 42-28. That was their first victory for Medicine Valley since October 15th, 2021, so they broke that 27-game losing streak. Paxton had a bye. Southwest took down South Platte 59-8. Sutherland beat Morrill 76-16. And then Wallace and Juanita Palisade had byes. Once again, our weekly football scoreboard is brought to you by MNB Realty. We'll take a break. Be right back. Hey everyone, Evan Jones with you here once again. We will get to the RPAC Rundown featured matchups recap, but before we do that, we've got a really neat piece of content coming out. It's going to be brought to you by Acme Printing Company in McCook. We've been visiting with them, and Acme Printing Company was hoping to sponsor something to highlight the arts, the things that the students are in outside of the athletics and things like that. So we will be interviewing RPAC students who are involved in the arts, whether that's music, art, play, etc. We're going to chat and see what's going on in the arts side of things for the education and for the kids too. We're really excited about this to partner with Acme Printing Company. One interview per week will be posted on socials. It's going to be really awesome. And have you checked out Acme Printing Company's website? If you haven't, check out acmeprint.co. You can order online. They do so many things like marketing products, stationery, direct mailings, signage, promotional products, storefront and vehicle graphics, and more. We personally use Acme Printing Company. They print our magazine for the fall, winter, and spring. They hooked us up with an awesome set of pins last year. They're really cool looking pins, and we really love the work that they've done. And they also came and did the signage on my office just recently. So great local business and people to work with. So be on the lookout for those interviews on social media, and be sure to check out Acme Printing Company for your printing needs. All right, let's check out the RPAC Rundown featured matchups we had from last week. Let's start on Tuesday. We had an RPAC Rundown featured matchup. It was a wild, stormy evening in Red Willow County last Tuesday night, but that didn't stop Southwest from hosting Juanita Palisade on the volleyball court. Southwest was able to come away with a 3-0 sweep. The set scores were 25-17, 25-21, and 25-16. As always, we have full blog recaps on the website at rpacrundown.com. This RPAC Rundown featured matchup was brought to you by Lord's Hardware, Furniture, and Appliances, Susie's Creative Stitches, Gibby's Tire and Service, Double D Hauling and Spreading, Kelly Detker, Rippy Solutions, Meadowlark Lane, Coffee and Floral, and Ag Edge Insurance. Let's take a break and then chat about Thursday's game between Cambridge and Bertrand. Cambridge hosted Bertrand on Thursday night during homecoming week. Also, it was a pair of 3-0 teams battling in the opening week of district play. These squads compete in the D2-8 district. Cambridge, who is regarded as a top 10 team in D2, took care of business, winning 56 to 6 against Bertrand. For the Vikings, they had 98 yards rushing and 89 yards passing. Thunder Nelson led the rushing attack with 55 yards. Also should mention that these numbers are unofficial at the time of this recording. These were statistics that I had taken during the game. Cooper Langford had 28 yards. Waylon Olson had 89 yards passing and a touchdown. And Thunder Nelson had 77 yards receiving and a score. The Vikings did force a turnover also. For Cambridge, they were balanced with 205 yards rushing and 163 yards passing. Micah Gerlach had 64 yards on the ground and 2 scores. Creighton Ruggles had 72 yards and a touchdown. Brady Allmeyer had 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gerlach had 148 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. He also threw for 163 yards, 12 for 14 passing with 2 scores. Ruggles had 75 yards receiving and a touchdown. Allmeyer had 45 yards and a score. Braden Miller had 12 tackles. Gerlach and Colton Perks each had 10, and Ben Harris had 2 sacks. They forced 4 turnovers, including 2 picks by Sean Pauley and 1 by Brady Allmeyer. Sean Pauley was also named the homecoming king, so pretty good night for Mr. Pauley on Thursday. This RPAC Rundown featured matchup was brought to you by C+, Cambridge Rehab and Fitness, Red Roof Farms, Onyx Native, Elevate Wellness, providing physical therapy and a large range of holistic health services to the entire Southwest Nebraska region. Ebbs Oilfield Service, 738 Ag, Holdridge Family Dental, Aurora Cooperative, First State Bank, Dundee County Hospital and Quality Health Care, Cornfed Entertainment, Levi Watson and Zach Kerner, and Waypoint Bank in Cambridge. Let's take a break, and then we will talk about our Friday night featured matchup between Highline and Dundee County Strat. You're listening to the RPAC Rundown Podcast. Dundee County Stratton, one of the top teams in D1, went to Elwood on Friday night to take on the Highline Bulls. This was a D1-9 district matchup, and it was an excellent, physical, hard-nosed matchup. DCS was able to come away with the win 32-14. This was a battle, my friends. Great football, great competition. For Highline, Brody Diefenbaugh had 61 yards passing, 42 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns. Gage Roop had 45 yards rushing. Chase Beitler had 21 yards rushing and 23 yards receiving, and Parker Schutz had 24 yards receiving. Defensively, Schutz had 12 tackles and Roop added 11. Jackson Hood had 7 tackles and 2 of them were for loss. Carter Tilson had a fumble recovery. Schutz averaged 43 yards per punt, and 2 of them were inside the 10. He was awesome as a punter on Friday night. For DCS, they had 325 yards rushing and 69 yards passing. Noah Zoltenko had himself a day. 254 yards rushing and 2 scores. Dante Horner rushed for 63 yards and 3 touchdowns. Horner had the 69 yards passing, and his go-to receiver was August Shaw with 60 yards. Shaw had 13 tackles to lead the Tigers. Shaw and Brock Bailey each had a sack. This RPAC Rundown featured matchup was brought to you by Lamppost 613, Waypoint Bank in Eustis, Elevate Wellness, providing physical therapy and a large range of holistic health services to the entire Southwest Nebraska region, Law Office of Ashley K. Spahn, Avanti Salon and Smack and Smooch, Dundee County Hospital and Quality Health Care, Cornfed Entertainment, Levi Watson and Zach Kerner, Lord's Hardware Furniture and Appliances, Matthews Family Chiropractic in Benkelman and Imperial, Prairie Girl Candle Company, and Benkelman Pharmacy. We'll take a break. Be right back. Now joining us on the podcast is Emma Strand, a senior at Arapahoe. Well, Emma, as of late, the Warriors playing pretty good volleyball, winning 5 of your last 6 at the time of this conversation. What's been working well for you girls?
We have been doing a good job of getting our serves over and in and getting aces on a good amount of those, so that works. Just because serving well helps when then you don't have to play defense as much. But we've also been playing pretty good defense. Uh, we don't we've been having a lot of long rallies, so it helps because that just means our defense is playing well. And we've been having girls with a lot of good hitting percentages lately. Not as many people have been hitting in the negatives, so it's good to just see all the girls get in the groove of things.
Now, you've had a number of players and teammates step up into new roles. How have you seen the team adapt so far this season?
They really just have been doing like, during practice, we do a good job of just, playing all the different positions. We'll do a lot of scrimmaging where we just get to play different positions, so that way, if anything happens again during a game, we can just adjust mid-game, and people will know what they're doing in each of the positions, so everyone's ready to play whenever they need to.
Now, at the beginning of the season, a little bit of a shaky start, but then you had that Brady match, a four-set match that you girls won. How does winning a match like that kind of give you girls some confidence going forward?
Brady actually hadn't lost a set until we beat them that first set of the game, so it was just we couldn't go into the game thinking this'll be, um we just had to have confidence in ourselves. And that game, we had a good crowd and just good energy in general, so it was really fun to play because everyone was just moving well as a team, we were playing well, and everyone was communicating, and just everything was, flowing well together, and so it just felt so good to get a win after that rough triangular we had that week or the couple days before, so.
Mhm. Now, you're a senior. There's a couple of other seniors on this squad. What's been fun for you and the other seniors so far this season?
Um, I've just been having a lot of fun. I mean, volleyball is fun. I enjoy playing it, so just the fact that we get to play in general, but, the Brady game was definitely probably the most fun game I've played this year. Just getting to be around the girls all the time and, um, getting to get close as a team and build our team chemistry has been really nice.
hmm Now, we talked a little bit about some of the things that you've been doing well. What's kind of, changed for you girls that you're playing better volleyball as of late, but I'm sure there's things you want to improve upon. What are some things that you feel that the team needs to improve upon and clean up as the season goes on?
One thing I would say that we definitely need to improve on is just playing our game no matter what's happening on the other side, no matter who it is, or, just playing, like, our game and not playing a roller coaster sort of game, and definitely serve receive. You can always get better at serve receive, that always helps, and just having good positive attitudes most of the time, not getting in our heads and just shutting down after we have a couple few bad sets or bad, little runs. We just have to move on and just be ready to continue and have fun, and yeah.
No, that's awesome. Well, thanks a bunch for the time, Emma, and good luck the rest of the season, okay?
Thank you so much.
That will do it for this week's episode of the podcast. Be on the lookout for our Athletes of the Week brought to you by First Central Bank. Always highly anticipated. We typically drop those on Thursday. We love having First Central Bank as our advertiser on those each week. We send awards to the recipients too. It's an awesome thing for the student athletes to be able to have. We have some great content continuing to roll out, of course, our free stuff, and then also the things we have on RPAC Rundown Overtime. If you're not an RPAC Rundown Overtime subscriber, I can't recommend it enough. $3 per month plus tax or $30 per year plus tax. You get a bunch of great content on there. Some really good stuff for sure. We need to thank our great sponsors of the RPAC Rundown podcast, like JBK Operating LLC, Scouts Recreation, First Central Bank, Cross Diamond Cattle Company, Tri-Valley Medical Foundation, and Prairie Girl Candle Company. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. We will catch you later.